The Finnish Defense Forces and the Norwegian Armed Forces are very similar when it comes to their military, but also have some very different aspects to them. And today here on FTD Facts, we are, just for fun, gonna look at the differences and compare these two great military forces. Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to FTD Facts. My name is Dave Walpole. Now, this is actually a part 2 to our Finland versus Norway videos. Now, in our previous video, which if you guys want to check it out, the card is gonna be right here, or you can wait till the end of this video. We actually talked about the general statistics of the two countries, but here on the channel, we generally don't look at these countries and try to spread hate or anything like that. These are really videos just to spread awareness and get other countries to learn about everyone else's countries. And with that being said, guys, if you love learning about militaries and you love learning about cultures and people from around the world, you want to hit that subscribe button and tune in with us every single day. Now, for our regulars, you guys know who you guys are at, our regular subscribers. Man, leave a suggestion down there in the comment section below for a future FTD Facts video, and you new people can do that too. It's totally okay, because that's what we do here on the channel. We love to hear from you guys, and we love to learn with you guys. Now, first of all, let's look at Finland first. Now, it has a manpower of 2,300,000 people, with approximately 1,900 people fit for service, with a total personnel of 262,050 people, and an active personnel of roughly 29,350 people, with a reserve personnel being astronomical high at 232,700 people. Now, as for Norway, it has a manpower of 2,150,000, with approximately 1,755,000 people fit for service, and a total personnel of 72,500 people. And of that, the active personnel is 25,600, and the reserve personnel has 46,000 soldiers. Now, one thing that is different about these two nations is that they each have different ages to join the military. For example, in Finland, you can be 18 years old, where in Norway, you have to be 19. And with that in mind, Finland and Norway do have conscription, and for Finland, approximately 80% of the males do the military service, where Norway has a loose form of conscription as of 2016, where one can object to it on moral grounds, and only 8,000 to 10,000 people are conscripted a year. But now, let's take a look at these two nations and break down their hardware, because sometimes it's not just about soldiers, it's also about the gear that these countries got. Looking first at Finland, the aircraft strength sits at approximately 153, with 54 fighters, and the most common fighter is the F-18 Hornet. Their attack craft sits at 54, with 31 transport craft and approximately a helicopter strength of 64. Now, for Norway, it's a little bit different. They have an aircraft strength of 106, with 49 fighters, and of that, the F-16 is the current model. However, it is going to be replaced by the F-35, with currently 3 of them in possession and 49 on order. On top of that, their attack craft sits at 46, with a transport craft of 38 and approximately a helicopter strength of 35. So, of these two nations, they do have a pretty up-to-date military. The F-18 is still a pretty reliable fighter, and the F-35 is just one of the new beasts. But let's take a look at the ground forces of these two countries. For example, combat tanks in Finland sit at 160. Now, currently, the Leopard 2A4 and the Leopard 2A6 are their main combat tank. Now, of that, their armored fighting vehicles sit at 1,370, with a total artillery, both self-propelled and towed, coming in at 961. And on top of that, they have approximately 58 rocket projectors. Now, Norway, however, has 52 combat tanks, with the Leopard 2A4 being their main battle tank. Their armored fighting vehicles sit at 684, and their total artillery comes in at 204, with 0 rocket projectors. Now, diving into their navy, the one thing that is common about these two countries is that their navy is pretty small. For example, in Finland, they have 270 Navy assets, 0 aircraft carriers, 0 destroyers, 0 submarines, but 8 patrol craft. And you may be wondering, if there's only 8 patrol craft, what is up with the rest of the 262? Well, that is small things like mine layers, mine removers, transport craft, and other things of that nature. And as for Norway, their Navy assets sit at only 62. However, they do have 5 frigates, 6 corvettes, 6 submarines, and 16 patrol craft. And the rest of it is made up of minesweepers and transport craft and Coast Guard. Now, one thing that we got to remember is that, yeah, sure, one country may have more gear than the other, but budget is a huge thing, because although you might have, more gear, you might not have the budget to maintain this gear. So let's take a look at the budgets. So for Finland, their budget sits at approximately $3.6 billion in USD. And for them, they spend approximately 1.3% as of 2017 of their total GDP. Now, Norway, their budget is almost twice as high, equaling $7 billion US dollars, spending approximately 1.62 as of 2016 of their GDP. It is also interesting to know that Norway is the highest budget per capita of all the NATO forces. And of course, one thing that these two great nations and their soldiers have in common is that they are both peacekeeping countries that join UN peacekeeping missions. They've both been in multiple operations against terrorism in places like Afghanistan, and of course been a part of world relief funds. But that's it, guys. That is a brief look at these two countries when it comes to their military, and we want to know, which one is your favorite? Screw it, guys. I don't really care. I want to know, what is your favorite fighter of those two? The F-35 or the F-18 Hornet? Me, I just love the F-18 Hornet. It just sounds so much better. But other than that, guys, thanks for joining me. My name is Dave Wapple, and I hope you guys really had a fun time learning about these two great nations. And of course, guys, don't forget to leave a suggestion for a future FTD Facts video down there in the comment section below, and keep an eye at the end screen for other videos as well. And of course, if you guys want to follow more of my stuff, if you guys are into gaming and movies, you want to check me out on Picky Nerds, it's in the description box below. I talk about movies and video games and how they could be improved, so feel free to come over, hang out, and check that out. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Now, if you guys really enjoyed learning about Finland and Norway and you want to learn more about either country, well, check out these two playlists, because the one thing that's great about these nations is that they have their own unique way of doing things, although being right next door to each other. We have a playlist on Finland, and we have a playlist on Norway for you guys. So feel free to check them out, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Cool? Bye.